Hello, welcome to the Pit Lane, a show where I can broadcast my thoughts and opinions on the motorsport industry. As you can see, I'm in my pyjamas with my woolly hat as well. Just watched the Chinese Grand Prix in a very early start, 6 AM. Yeah, it was a decent race. Strategy wise, it was very interesting to see two different sets of strategies kind of fighting each other, and the one what people thought wasn't going to win won, if you know what I mean. So the guys starting on the softs, they were the ones who were, they're not going to get nowhere, they've made a mistake, they should have done the qualifying on hards and all that. They're the ones who just, ran away with the race because they got it tactically right, which was, a lot of the experts were wrong. And I do understand where the experts are coming from. I mean, if you go on the soft tyres at the end, the track kind of rubbers in, you've got a light fuel tank and all that. So in theory, you should get more laps out of them, because the soft tyre was pretty much, it was graining after like 3 laps, and you could only manage 7 to 10 laps on it before it just falls off. So yeah, well, the Pirellis have been a big factor for this season. I did say I was going to cover the first few races, because that's when you kind of learn the pecking order and all that. And we don't have a pecking order this year. It's a really weird season. We don't know who is the fastest car. Like last year, we knew the McLarens had the fastest car at the start, and obviously they made a meal out of it, but they had the fastest car. And this year we don't know who's got the fastest car. Alonso dominated today, and Raikkonen really did take people to town the other day in Australia. And Malaysia, the Red Bulls look unbeatable. So we don't really know. Every car is kind of performing differently on every track, and with upgrades coming in constantly, we don't really know yet. So we're gonna have to wait and see to a pattern. But we didn't really get a pattern last year either, did we? We didn't see the Red Bull kind of came in dribs and drabs, and then McLaren would come in, and then Lotus would just absolutely just storm, the track. Well, until they only got the win at the end, but they were, showing signs of slight pace dominance. But yeah, the Pirellis, like I was saying, they're not really lasting too long. They're mothering tyres, they're babying them. And drivers are driving and pacing themselves 4 seconds off optimum lap time just to keep the tyres going. And as a driver, you want to really just push the car, and you really want to race. That's the whole point of racing. It's not mothering the tyres, it's racing. And there's a new term the drivers are using. It's called bite. They request to bite. So in other words, towards the end of the stint, because they can't do it at the beginning, they ask to bite the tyres, so where they can push like full 100% and really take as much energy out of the tyres as they can. And they're only doing that for a little bit, the last 2 laps of their stints. And obviously it's making the racing a lot more equal. It's bringing the cars a lot closer together, but it's a bit dead, for the drivers. I wouldn't really be happy driving 4 seconds off my optimal pace. So I kind of I'll kind of have a bit of sympathy for him. What else is there to talk about? Yeah, the race is pretty good. It was Fernando Alonso was dominant. Kimi Raikkonen had a brilliant result, 2nd place, and that put him 2nd in the championship as well, actually, which is decent. And he, considering he had a lot of downforce missing because of Buddy Perez, the dumbass, kind of just pulls out in front of him and makes him lose his, the tip of his nose. He done well. He brilliant racecraft. He was losing. Eric Brullier said after the race he was losing a 1/4 of a second per lap because of the aerodynamic deficiency on the wing. And he kept Hamilton at bay, and he had a pace. He was setting fastest laps at some points, and it just kind of shows what kind of driver Kimi is. He could drive around the problem. And that is like a world champion. That's what a world champion does. He drives around the problem, and he doesn't make a big meal out of things. But I think like drivers like Button and Hamilton, they have like little problems with the car, and they're just constantly moaning understeer, this and that, blah blah blah. Obviously Kimi does. He shouts like mad on the team radio, like understeer, whatever. But he drives around it, and you don't notice it affect his performance, whereas other drivers it does. And I think Eric Brullier even said, to have a 1/4 of a second a lap taken off you and still have the racecraft to put yourself, in that position to get 2nd place, just shows that you're the best race driver in the world. And I'm a Kimi fan, so I'm not going to be biased. Or I am going to be a bit biased, but I would slightly agree with him. I think Alonso's the best all-round driver in the world. But Kimi Raikkonen is not far off. I mean, Kimi, he's shown consistency. He's finished something ridiculous amount of races. He's finished every race he's been back in Formula 1, and all of them have been in the points bar one. So it just shows what kind of level the driver is. He's just a brilliant driver. So he's just had a brilliant first race. He kept the tyres going well. Third race he showed great, courage with the understeer to get the car back home. Yeah, Malaysia, there was a big talking point. Multi 21, Multi 2-1, whatever you want to call it. I'm really against this whole Seb bashing thing. Everyone's on Seb's back, and everyone's just looking for a new Schumacher. Everyone's looking for someone to hate, and it's pathetic. I mean, Seb's such a quality guy. When he gives the time to Martin Brundle or all the media, he makes, he's friendly and he's funny and he's brilliant. He's such a nice guy. And people try to say he's the new Schumacher, how he's dominating the sport and he's also a sly git. And I think they're just trying to make him into a Schumacher. And I think, I think a lot of F1 fans are idiots, really. I think most of them haven't got a clue about anything. They haven't got a clue about the sport, and they haven't got a clue about racing in general. So I don't understand where these F1 fans are getting all these flipping opinions that Seb's dirty, Seb's this and that. He's a world champion. If Ayrton Senna pulled over for Prost, I would be stunned. This is racing. This ain't pull over for your teammate. This isn't slow down for your teammate. This is racing. So I'm going to get into that in another video because I've got a really strong opinion, and I really want to rip the shit out of a lot of F1 fans out there I see on Twitter really pissing me off, insulting Seb. So yeah, I thought I'd make this video because we are 3 races in. We don't have a pecking order. I said 3 races, we normally see a pecking order. There's nothing, so we're going to have to wait and see. Yeah, any questions or opinions or anything, just leave a comment in the YouTube video or tweet me or whatever. I think my Twitter should be in the description as well, and I'll try and get one up every week, or one of these videos up every week. I'm trying. I've just been a bit busy, so after every race try and get a video up. And yeah, well, just if you've got any questions or if you like the video, leave a like, subscribe, whatever. Thanks for watching, and sorry for being in my pajamas. This is really unprofessional. I haven't got no gameplay to put on the video today. So yeah, anyway, thanks for watching, guys.